Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Denim Futures Conference and Showcase. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tasha Chung, the MC hosting the two-day conference. On behalf of the Mills Fabrica, I'd like to welcome everyone and say thank you for attending the conference today, as we're about to gain insights from experts and learn more about sustainable innovations from innovators, professionals, brands, and manufacturers. So before we start the day, let me make sure that everyone is energetic and ready for the day. So are you ready? Perfect! Loving the energy. So, we all know that the world is edging towards more sustainable practices in the fashion industry. So, here comes the big question. How can we transform our beloved denims into a more sustainable future? With that, let's put our hands to welcome Ms. Vanessa Chung, the Managing Director of Nanfeng Development Limited and founder of The Mills, to deliver a welcome speech. Let's put our hands together to welcome Ms. Chung.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join an in-person event. It's great to see everyone online, also everyone online. Thank you for joining us. Denim is one, if not the most iconic fabrics in the world. I think everyone would agree with that. It holds a special place in the cultural history of fashion, from its invention in 1873 to its evolution throughout the 20th and 21st centuries. This on its own is a testament of denim's versatility and adaptability to the ever-changing needs of the world. Denim, of course, is especially meaningful to the mills, which manufactured many tons of raw denim back in the 50s and 60s. At the same time, as the ramifications of climate change become more apparent and as consumers become increasingly eco-conscious, there's a demand on greater transparency for brands. It's now the time for denim to once again adapt, evolve to the changing needs of our present needs. This is as much about innovation-led changes to make the supply chain more sustainable as it is about having the right regulatory incentives and framework, measurement and assessment standards, and a strong pool of talents to future-proof the denim industry. In this two-day conference and showcase, we want to explore all these focus areas and ask ourselves what it would take to accelerate denim's transition to become a more sustainable and circular fabric. As such, we have the honor of gathering and hosting 14 denim manufacturers, suppliers, innovators, and brands to showcase their latest products and technologies in this two-day event, which you can check out in the back. We hope this event becomes the catalyst for like-minded innovators and players to network, exchange, and foster future collaborative opportunities and come up with impactful solutions. A little about the Jean Project. As an ecosystem builder of the innovations in the textile industry, the Mills Fabrica is always seeking out ways to inspire brands and consumers alike on how innovations can drive the future of apparel. In this case, denim. That's why I want to introduce you to our new project, Reinventing the Future of Jeans. It's a proof of concept collaboration between the Mills Fabrica and leading industry experts and innovators across the entire denim supply chain. Launching in the coming half year, we hope to showcase how weaving existing innovative technologies into jeans production can help create a more sustainable denim system. In closing, we hope this conference can be the start of a new path ahead in making denim's future as resilient as possible. Let's begin the event with our teaser video on reinventing the future of jeans. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa, for introducing such a meaningful project. So if you're interested, please don't hesitate to let us know by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. You can fill out a Google form and leave your contact details, or you can contact our staff with a badge at the venue to let them know, as you too can be a part of the project. Also, we'll be sharing more news with you, and you'll be the first to be notified of the project release. So before we get started, let me briefly introduce what awaits you in today's conference. As you can see on the screen, here's the agenda of today's conference. We'll start the day with a panel discussion on denim culture and community, followed by another panel discussion on sustainable finance and regulations. We'll then take a lunch break at noon, and then the afternoon section will start with a keynote presentation on the spirit of denim. Then followed by another panel discussion on circularity in design, and we'll take a short coffee break after that. And the last section is a panel discussion on digital denim, and we'll end the day with a networking section. And you can take your time to explore the showcase area at the back of the room. As Vanessa has mentioned just now, as you can see on the screen, we have a series of showcasing brands. And you may have already noticed or visited the booths at the back. So here are the brands that are participating in the showcase area. So feel free to connect with each other and explore future opportunities and collaborations with them. In the upcoming panel discussion, we'll dig into the culture and the community of denim. We all know that denim was originally designed and invented as a durable uniform for heavy-duty workers, but in modern days, it has not become only an industry, but also a cultural currency, defining the lifestyle of many different communities around the world. So without further ado, let us invite the moderator of this section, David Tring, denim head from the Magic of Denim Consultancy, to come onto the stage. Welcome, David. And today we are also very honored to have invited two guests as the panelists. They are Jenny Chan, Senior Director of Product Design and Development for Lee of Kontoor Brands. Let's welcome Jenny. Also, we have Penter Yip, the Director of Fashionary. Let's welcome Penter. The panel discussion topic is denim culture and community. Let's welcome them with another round of applause, and I'll pass the stage to David.
Thank you very much, and really a big thank you to Vanessa and the team at the Mills. When we talked about bringing everybody back together and having this community in one place and to do it physically, it was a really big ask, and it's just amazing what they've managed to do and put together. So thank you, Vanessa and team. So yeah, my name's David. I've been in this industry as long as I can really remember, and probably as long as many of you can remember as well. I have my own consultancy, The Magic of Denim, and a lot of my time goes these days working with students. I'm a visiting fellow at the Hong Kong Design Institute, and that's a really big passion for me to bring the next generation through. Prior to that, I've been in Hong Kong since 2006. I was the vice president for Kontoor Brands in Asia Pacific, and where we had 800 Lee stores in China, and really loved being in Hong Kong, and I'm very proud to be in Hong Kong. Before that, I was in Europe with Wrangler as the product director, and prior to that, 11 years at H&M as a buyer, and working with the founder of H&M, Erling Pearson. So denim's been the thread that really connects my life, and just really happy that we can be doing this today. Jenny, who are you?
Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm working in design and product development for the brand, for the Lee brand in Asia Pacific. And all my experience has actually come from brands and retails, where I developed my passions on consumer-centric design and all these innovation projects we have with the league. And let's say, like my denim journey was started when I got to know the fascinating heritage of denim, and also as a designer, when I realized that denim make and craft are far more than 5-pocket jeans. So since then, I have decided to stay with denim for my career. That's why, that's me.
And Penter?
Oh, hello, I'm Penter. I'm the founder of the fashion publication Fashionary. And I started the company about 12 years ago. We think that the designers deserve better tools and books in the market because they don't have many technical information in a readable way. So we try to publish book that is easy to read and digest for the designers. And our latest publication is the Denim. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I just feel very lucky that you're both here, and we've had a lot of conversations prior to this where I've been learning a lot from both of you.
Thank
So
you.
today's all about the denim culture and community, and I think it's quite interesting because polyester, you don't hear about the polyester community. You don't hear about the nylon culture, but you do hear about the denim culture and the denim community. And I think it's just testament to what we are as more than being an industry. Everybody knows everybody, everybody's friends with each other, even though we're also competitors. But we have this whole culture around denim that goes right into consumer as well. So let's ask a few questions to our panel. I like this bit because I got the power right now. Jenny, so when we say denim culture, what does that really mean to you as a designer?
Yes, that's a good question. I keep always asking myself, but the answer will come time by time with difference, I would say, because denim has evolved, right? Yes, I would say, I will bet to you that denim is more than a fabrics. Polyester is a fabrics. Denim is a cultures. So I would say, apart from the heritage, denim is for the many, not the few. So to me, today, if my definitions of denim is the most inclusive category for gender, for age, to race, which is the value we care about the most. And denim to me is also stand for the freedom, they stand for the spirit of freedom, and also the expressions of self-style, I mean the personal style, and also is the youth attitude of that make statements. So which is always deep engaged with the youth culture in every generation. Like we say back in the 30s, when there's popularity of the cowboy scenes in Hollywood, like from the 30s. And we talk about also like the rebellion from 50, and the hippies from 70s, and the pop, the rock, and the punk, and also the hip-hop icons from 80s to the Y2Ks. So denim has always engaged with the youth cultures. So that's why I think denim, like even when we look at the pop icons today, like the Korean pop icons, state pop icon, European pop icon, always denim to make the important role of self-expression for the youth. So that's, to me, is the denim is about to self-expression as well, apart from the heritage.
So really about self-expression and all those cultural things that you mentioned, like the pop stars as well. It's enduring, really, denim in that way. So I think every generation kind of adopts denim as part of their uniform, yeah? What about you, Penter? What do you think about denim and the denim culture? You've been writing about it.
Yeah, when I was researching about the books, I think that denim is a very special fabric. Not many fabric has a story to tell, but denim has so many stories. And I think it's all start with it is a people's fabric, because it starts with a working class fabric and then upstream to the high fashion and then to couture. And like Jenny said, I think it has a meaning of expression and individualism, freedoms, and also, sorry, freedoms. So I think it's a part of our history to begin with. Like in the gold rush period, the people work so hard to earn their life, and then they wear denim because it protects them. And then after the World War II, the women abandon their dress, and then they start to wear jeans to have the equality. And even in the civil rights moment, sorry, and even in the civil rights moment, the black people, they choose to wear denim because they think denim represents them. They're seeking for freedoms, and the music industry, the pop, the punk icon, they all wear denim. And even nowadays, a very hit topic, the sustainability, they also involve denim. So denim has a very vibrant culture, and then I think it's very special, a fabric that is functional and at the same time full of story. And I think in the future, it's about the trend is about the individualism, and I think it's merged with denim very well. Denim will be part of the core element in the future in our trend, I think.
Fantastic. Okay, well, while you get some water, I'm going to talk with Jenny a little bit more. So Jenny, when we talk about history, we talk about heritage, always comes into that conversation, and vintage. And vintage is one of the, these golden parts of the whole denim cycle. All designers, quite often, even if you're designing something for the future, you're looking back, looking for some inspiration as well. So how important is heritage and vintage to this denim culture?
So I would say in design, denim vintage heritage always as inspiring to a designer, because we're not talking about denim, if we're looking at the fashion, always like the 70s, 80s, right? We always get inspiration from our history, our archive. So for design, the denim history and denim culture is about a spirit. Like I would say, I can easily find the common thread from the peoples that work in the denim, right? So for us, the denim's culture heritage is always inspiring in the design when we start working on the project. Every time we look at the heritage and the icon piece, we'll always get inspiration. You can always come up with new ideas from the heritage and the icons.
Fantastic. Penter, same question for you.
Yes, I think the heritage and vintage elements give the denim its life and a story to tell. Like when I was doing the research of the history part of denim, I met with some of the denim collectors, and they show me some of the items, and I think that is so fascinating. Like he showed me a vintage denim jacket and full of brown color, and I was like, oh, what was that? And then she said, oh, it's the owner said that it's the bloodstain of his grandfather. Like his grandfather survived in the war, and then wearing that jeans jacket, and then the family think that is so lucky, and they keep it to today, and then sold to my friend, and also he showed me other vintage jeans, and then there's so many scratches on the couch area. And I was like, oh, what happened to that guy? It's already to scratch his glove. And then he was like, oh no, it's for striking the matches. At that time, the people, they like to, they don't have lighter, they have matches. And the denim is so durable that it can really strike the matches and set fire. So there's so many scratches in the glove area of that jeans. And also I saw a jeans that have a big cuff and full of burning holes. And then I would say, oh, what was that? And they said, oh, this is in the cowboy history that the people like to roll over their jeans and have a big curve, and then they put things into the curve, and then there's some burning holes, either cigarette or things, and I think it's so interesting then. The vintage and the heritage of denim that make the denims alive, and then every denim has their own story. So I think it's good for the denim culture because it helps people to remember every jeans is different.
Wow. Just a safety warning, nobody try making fire with their jeans today, please. It's, the government won't allow it, so please be careful out there today. So every jean's got a story, right? That's one of the things I love with denim. You find all these old vintage pieces, and you can almost tell or guess at the life the person's had, because denim just lasts so long. I think that's one of the sustainability things around denim. Sometimes the most sustainable jean you have is the one that you've got in your wardrobe. It's something that will live for a long time and last. So I think that's very important. Every culture has its cult. That's where the name comes from. And the denim heads, they're really the cult of our culture. And that term used to really refer just to men. You know, you only found, when you said denim heads, you only saw men. But today I see a lot of female denim heads, and I think that's starting to change our culture in a really positive way, you know. So, Jenny, how would you describe a modern denim head, and how important are they, and how much influence do they have within the culture? Because they're only a small percentage, right? But very noisy.
I would say yes. Yes, when I get started in the denim industry, that was, yes, pretty much male-driven. But I would say the world changed a lot, right? I mean, now it's like about D&I, diversity, and also people don't care about who you are, right? It's as long as you work, right? So to me, the denim, yes. So to me, the denim hat, it has to be, first of all, there has to be a real denim lover, and with carrying the spirit of denim, and as like ambassadors. So I think they have to stay true and real, because this is the denim, the fundamental of the denim spirit to me. So I always believe that you have to love what you are doing and reflect your passion on work, so that you can create things that impress people and influence the people around you. So to me, the denim is ambassador for the brand, for the industry, for the team. Yes, I don't have much pretty much what I'm doing in my real life.
You are a denim head, that's for sure. Penter, when you were making the book, in your research, you must have come across and spoken with some of the denim heads. How was that, and how important do you think they are?
I think it's a good news that denim has more and more voices nowadays. I'm a big fan of Amy Leverton, aka Denim Dudes, in her Instagram. And we found that unlike the traditional style, she actually blends in the denim culture and style into other different styles, and it is very refreshing. I think it's very, very refreshing for the industry. And also, I think it showed that the denim is evolving and also evolution for the denims, and at the same time, the people can understand more about what is denim outside the community. And I think it's also showed that how versatile the fabric is, because it showed in many different of style, and then can blend in different brand, the style, and then so I think in the future more and more voices will be, and I think it's a good news, and people would like to look forward to, I think.
Cool. I think, you know, there's a famous saying that some things refuse to be part of trends. They would rather be part of life. And I happen to think denim is really like that. It's both fashion, and it's also a lifestyle for many, many people. So, so Jenny, if denim really is a lifestyle, how would you define that lifestyle?
Well, I think people love denim. It could come from all different reasons. Like some people love it because it's heritage. Some people love it because it's got growth with the age. But for me, I think I love denim for the versatility that's denim giving me in the mix and match for every occasion. And also, denims is pretty much express my personal style. I think people, if you ask people, it has to imagine the wardrobe without denim, right? So to me, denim is non-replaceable items for everyone. It's just about how, for the people working for the denim, is how we could make denim evolve and stay relevant to the consumer wardrobe. Like we talk a lot about sustainability, sustainable, make it evolve and valuable to the today world. So to me, denim, yeah, I can't imagine without a denim.
I also can't imagine you without denim. Penter?
We are working on a new book about style, and I'm quite surprised to find that we find nearly all the style contain a denim items of every style, like Western, cowboy, biker, punk, Y2K, and even nowadays the visco girl. And I think it's everywhere. The denim is so versatile that it suits in many different lifestyle of culture. And then when I start researching the book, we met with some people, and then I found that the denim is actually the religions for them. And I think denim has the power of the magical power that makes you want to dive deep into the fabric, the design, the cutting, the washing, the history, the industry. So I think once you become a denim person, you're always a denim person, I think. It's definitely a lifestyle, I think.
Yes.
Very true, very true. You mentioned magical in what you're talking about. And I really think the magical part of denim is the indigo, the blue, because without that, it's just a cotton garment, very hard wearing, but just a cotton garment. So I think indigo is really the magical component of denim.
Absolutely.
Right, well, why is that, Jenny? Why is indigo so magical and so important?
So, like, apart from its long history, historical story about how indigo become a dye stuff. So I think indigo is the legend of all colors. Like denim and indigo, it got strongly bonded together. So to me, it won't be complete if missing each other. So the magic of indigo giving the denims is about like the beauty of growth with age. And also, like Panther mentioned, like when you talk to the vintage collector, like they have lost and story, because those abrasions reminds you a story, a moment, and also chase of life. So that's the magical of the indigo given to a piece of fabrics that we call denim.
Okay, Penter?
When I was writing the book, so we looked into the indigo and found that it has a really long history of like in the Asian civilization, you can actually find many indigos in the Egypt, in Asian China, in India. So it is a very royal thing. At that time, the people think that the indigo has a very high value, and they even named it the blue gold. So and nowadays, I think the properties of indigos make it very special for the denims. the color, you cannot produce a similar color like indigo blue, the vivid and also natural blue. You can make it with other chemical, and then also the shade it can produce many different shades, and like its physical properties that it cannot stick to the fabric, so the faded ability is amazing, and then every washes you can create a new jeans, I think. So I think the denim and the indigo is a perfect match, and then they come together, they can create endless possibility, and I can't find any fabric and stuff can replicate that, I think.
The denim uniqueness is all come from the indigo, right? The characteristic and uniqueness is come from the denim, the
Yes,
indigo.
yes.
So I'm sure everybody here is going to agree with their feelings about indigo for sure. Couple of questions for you, Jenny. So you lead a very large, successful design team here in Hong Kong, focused on denim, but also street style. How does the culture of denim influence your work with your team?
Oh, yes. That's a tough, it's also the biggest topic for me every day. I keep remind myself. So I think, firstly, the denim culture and the heritage is strongly influenced the way I lead my team, and especially for a historical denim brand. But another thing is about, I think that's also for all the people who lead a design team, it's about how to keep your team passionate and love what they are doing, especially for a commercial brand. I think that's the fundamental, you can take the best out of a designer. So to leading a design team, first of all, I would say training, knowledge, that's definitely we need to develop it within the team about the brand history, how the historical story, and also the know-how, because denim is so technical. I keep saying, on the table there was 1,000 of fabrics, but blue, indigo, teal fabrics. How could a designer pick from? That is really challenging for a design head. So I would say we will have both technical and historical training for our team, but also letting them know about the uniqueness of denim fabrics. That is the best, is the great media for them to outlet their creativity, to keep bringing the creative ideas. So also, like when we talk about the today now, like I think sustainability, one of the biggest topics, and also for the young designer, they were so passionate about how can they make the impact to products and good for the environments. I think that's like all mix this together.
Okay. And within your brand, obviously, you're doing history, heritage, it's all about denim, but you also do some street style, right? Does that culture of denim stop you doing other things, or are you also working on a more forward-thinking and futuristic way as well? How do you deal with that?
I would say yes and no. The yes is about we are not trying. I mean, the yes is not, we are not trying to be any brand or anyone. We are true to ourselves as a historical denim brand, and the authenticity of ourselves. But so that's why how we keep building on our icons to bring the creative idea, make it relevant for the generation now. So that's the yes. We are not trying to adopt like all the trends that's. And the no is about, if we say denim is come with the long history, more than 150 years, in the history. So I think that because denim keep evolve. So I would say the no is about we are not stopping to bring the new idea and also the innovation projects that we put onto the denim, keep it more relevant for the modern world. That's what we keep saying about that.
Awesome. Penter, this book, this amazing book, this is one of the best denim books that has come out, I think, over the last couple of years. What was the reason for doing a denim book? Because there's a lot of denim books out there. And kind of what was the inspiration?
Thank you, David. And actually, the inspiration comes from my editors, but unfortunately, she is in quarantine and she can't make it here. But she has been in the denim industry for 10 years. He thinks that it is a challenge for the designer to step into the industry because, like Jenny said, it is so many technical information, so technical that our school didn't teach much at that time. So I try to make it easier for the designers. We try to make the book from a technical standpoint, but with beautiful images and diagram to show that what is the different kind of fabric, what is washes and stuff like that. So we try to make the book as an entry guide and maybe a guidebook for the people in the industry to like that they can find the thing they're looking for in the denim industry.
So you did this in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
right? And when I've got all the denim books that come out, kind of collect everything. And I picked up this one. I didn't realize it was from Hong Kong. I thought it was going to be from Amsterdam or London or Los Angeles. But you did this here. And you did it, I know, with some of the local denim community were contributing. So how was that to work with the denim community in Hong Kong?
I think, actually, I think Hong Kong is the best place to make this book because Hong Kong was a important denim city, and we have connect with the Western culture. We know how the trends go, and at the same time, we have designers here, amazing designers, and also many technical people in Hong Kong. So to make a book like this in a technical way, I think Hong Kong is a perfect place to help us to have the information. And I'm so thankful that the local communities like fabric mills and some denim pattern maker that help us to provide us the information and supply us the insider tips for the books. And I think it's helped us a lot.
I've seen globally people talking about this book. You know, Kingpins are selling the book. Amy Leviton's talked about the book. Wouter Long John's been talking a lot about the book on his blog. That must make you feel really, really proud.
Yeah, I'm proud of my team because they know how to present the information in a visual way that people like, and I'm also happy that we make something right for the denim industry, so it can help the people to step into the industry, and then they can understand the knowledge in a more easy way, I think.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think the book's available here. Just a small advert.
Yes, thank you.
There's a QR code, and you can order online if you want to get hold of one of these books. And I still get 10%, correct? Okay, good. Glad we sorted that out. We should have talked the terms earlier, shouldn't we, really? So that's our panel discussion, all about the denim culture and community. I hope this has stimulated a few thoughts within the audience, online and offline, here, physically, finally. We're going to take a few questions. I know that there's some questions going to be coming in online. And if anybody's got any questions here, we've got microphones, and please feel free. If there's any difficult questions, please ask Jenny.
Yes.
So any questions? That's not on my big iPad, so I'll need my glasses. Okay. We went through a long setup there, but there's no questions. Okay, well, yeah, we'll just leave it running. Oh, that's a bit weird. I can see myself on here now as well. Okay, yes, we've got some questions. Thank you. For Jenny, I'm sure.
Hi, thanks so much for this great panel talk. I love it, and I think I'm not the only one. But I think what was one very, very, very important point about denim is that it was workwear, and then it was rebellion. And I think this is where it actually kind of like hit off with everyone else. You know, the teenagers, Marlon Brando, the rockers, and so on. So this is where normal people had an excuse to actually be, yes, you know, one of the rebellions and one of the cool people. So I think this is an evolution state of the denim where, you know, I don't want to wear workwear. You know, this is crap, this is horrible. But suddenly it's something cool, and I think this is where the emphasis actually lays into denim. That's why it's so popular nowadays. So yeah, thank you so much. I just wanted to add this to the panel.
Well, I think that's an interesting area because you can see culturally 2 or 3 moments, I think, where denim really had its moment and really came to be with young people. I think the very first time was with the cowboys, but not the cowboys themselves, more the dude ranches, where in the 20s and 30s, people would do like a staycation. I mean, today we all go out into the countryside and take all of our North Face goods and everything with us. Back in the day, the staycations would have been going out to a ranch and dressing like cowboys and doing all those cowboy things. So there's all sorts of these cultural references that bring it beyond just being a product of protection, I believe. Fantastic, thank you. Vanessa.
Thank you for this amazing panel. I have a little advert too. Like I mentioned in my speech earlier, Mills has a history in denim, and we actually started a seed to textile project in growing indigo. So it was thanks for mentioning it. And right now, we have harvested indigo last year, which we were told we revived indigo in Hong Kong. And we harvested some seeds, which are actually available in our museum side chat, that we are doing a series of ongoing, not just exhibitions, but like community projects revolving indigo. So all you indigo lovers here, I encourage you all to also try to grow your own and dye your own fabric, re-dye your denim. So yeah, Cynthia will be able to do this, and please follow the Seed to Textile project because it's something quite meaningful as well.
Thank you. It's exciting, all these different things that can be done. And Vanessa and the team, we've been talking a lot actually about the different things we can do with denim and to bring young people into the education field, into the mills, and to have this exposure and learning as well. Any other questions? I've kind of given up on the iPad. There's none there. None. Okay. Well, I think that really wraps up our first panel of the day. Jenny's now going to go off and get drunk. Penter's going to write another book. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you, Jenny, Penter, and David for the amazing panel discussion. We all know that denim has a long history with indigo, is a symbol of freedom, inclusion, and a statement piece, but it's also ever evolving. Thank you once again. Please be seated.